Hello, folks. It's me again. So I thought I would continue my tour of my Garbage Pail Kid collection. Now, I've pretty much completed going through the American Garbage Pail Kids that I own. Um, I did. I do have 35th anniversary, some of the GPK 35th anniversary, and some of the Food Fight series. But I kind of already went over those in other videos where I was opening packages and stuff, so I decided not to go through them again. Um, so instead, I thought I'd move on to the UK series, which I kind of started collecting by mistake, if I remember correctly. I think I was, you know, bidding on an auction on eBay for a card, and I didn't realize that it was the UK version of the card and not the American version. So these are interesting in that, so they were released in the UK around the same time or immediately after the American cards came out when they became popular. Um, and they did make some changes, which are interesting to look at. The first and second series are pretty much the same as the American one, except they're smaller. But when you get to the third series, things start to get weird, and they continue to get weirder through the fourth, fifth, and sixth series. And that's the limit of the UK series. That's how many series they put out. So let's take a look at these. You'll see I have late to school written on here and then crossed out because I moved that to its own binder. But we do also have some interesting other things in here that we can look at. So let me open this up. Like I said, the UK series is smaller, so they took the cards and reprinted them in this smaller size, and I've got here an American version, so you can see the size difference. It is quite a bit smaller. They kind of float around in these pockets, and they're also not die cut. The American cards, of course, have a cut along the edge of the sticker so you can peel it off, and they have a little peel here in the corner that's pointed in towards the sticker. So for the UK ones, they had to put a different arrow on top that's pointed out because the whole thing comes off as a sticker. There's no die cut. And the backs are the same. They have the awards and the checklists, just like the American version of the series. But of course, again, everything's smaller. Um, and some other interesting differences in this first series are that some of the names have been changed. I guess certain American names at the time were not very popular or well known in the UK. And I believe this series was also distributed in some other European countries like in Scandinavia and stuff. So for those names, they replaced them with names that were more common in the UK. Like for instance, this guy is now Creepy Terry. He was not Creepy Terry in the American version. I actually don't even. Let me look this up really quick. See what. I think I have a list here of all the names that were changed. Yeah, so he was Jay Decay in the American series. In the UK series, he becomes Creepy Terry. And again, this guy was Art Apart, and now he's Mart Apart. So that's kind of interesting. There's name differences, but you see that the art is exactly the same. They just they copied it exactly, and there aren't a lot of variations. Although you'll see, I do have a couple different of Atom Bomb because we have the different backs, the checklist back, and the cheater's license back. And I do again have a couple of different Creepy Terrys. Same thing. There's a checklist version, and then the stupid award variation. Um, Same with Blasted Billy. We've got the two different backs there. There's Booze and Bruce and Drunk Ken, TV Stevie and Geeky Gary. So this guy, this is another name change. This was Itchy Richie in the American series. In the UK, he's Itchy Mickey. And then we immediately have another name change. Furry Francis was just Furry Fran in the American version. There's Harry Mary, Ashcan Andy, Spacey Stacy. Gotta love the first series, or at least I do. Love these guys. And here's Alan Allen. He was just Al in the American series, but I guess Al is not a popular nickname in the UK. I don't know. So he became Alan. Um, Weird Wendy, Haggy Maggie, Wacky Jackie, Loony Lenny. All these guys. And we got another name change coming up. Here's Corroded Charlie. That was Corroded Carl in America. Kiss, Chris Swellmel. And then we've got Kinky Dicky. My copy of that one is not very good. It's damaged and stained. But yeah, that guy was Dressy Jesse in America. It's really kind of a a little more risque name in the UK, which is interesting. We got Virus Iris and Sicky Vicky. All these guys, the garbage pan pail guy. Mickey Lou, Nervy. Oh, that's another name change. Nervy Nigel. Very, very British sounding name. He was Nervous Rex in the American version, which was really more of a pun. But I guess that didn't work in the UK. And then this one was changed again. I guess another nickname that's not common. He was Nerdy Norm, and now he's Nerdy Norman. We got Creepy Carol, Scary Carrie, Slobby Robbie, Fat Matt. Oh, and let's compare. So here's the American Fat Matt and the UK Fat Matt. It kind of makes sense that the American Fat Matt would be bigger. Not to cast aspersions on us Americans, but we do tend to be bigger. Same back and everything. Jenny Genius, Susie, Melton Melissa. And then we've got some variations again here with Boney Joni. This is again the checklist back variation. The number of variations are considerably less for the UK version, however, because you'll remember probably if you watched my other videos that there's a whole set of like 1-star and 2-star backs, and then there's matte backs and glossy backs. Well, there aren't anywhere near that many variations for UK. In the UK series, there's just the matte back, and there's no asterisk variation. So considerably fewer cards are necessary for a full collection. We've got our Thin Lynn, and New Wave Dave, and Graffiti Petey. And here's another name change. Now we've got Rundown Rachel instead of Rundown Rhoda, which again, you're kind of losing part of the pun there. Rhoda, but I guess Rhoda's not a common name, or wasn't in the UK. We've got there's another one that's damaged. That doesn't look too pretty. Let's see what else we've got here. Kim Kong and a banana. And here's another name change. So Wrinkly Randy has become Wrinkly Ricky. Rockin' Robert, Rappin' Ruth, Tommy Toom, Guillotina, Cyndi Lauper. It's funny that they kept Cyndi Lauper. I guess maybe she was known in the UK as well. And we've got one more name change, and that's Mean Dean. He was Mean Gene in America. And then I also have here a couple of the actual packages for this series, which is cool. Let's see, they have Made in the Republic of Ireland by Topps Ireland Limited in Cork. That's kind of fun. Yeah, and there's another package there. And now we can move right ahead on to UK Series 2. So let's see if I have any interesting information about this series. I believe, again, it hasn't gotten too weird yet. This one is basically just a reprint of the American second series with some of the same variations. So let's take a look. So you'll see I have a lot of Patty Putties here. I don't think there are as many name changes in this series. Let me see if we can find, like, just looking online for for info here. No, I don't think there are really any name changes to this one. This is just this is exactly the same. So let's have a look at the variations on the backs of these guys. So now, oh, okay. So here we do actually have the asterisk variations, or do we? No, they're all 2 stars. Yeah. No, there's an asterisk variation here. Or no, it's okay. It's really the back that's the variation. So I think I kept this extra one because of the printing error here. You can see that the bottom has is at the top for that one. But you can see these both have the Sneak Award back, and this one is the Spaz Award back, which was a variation in the backs of those cards in the American print as well. And then we've got Mug and Megan, and again we have the Sneak and Spaz Award backs there. Then we've got Smelly Kelly with the yeah, and for this one there was a variation in the second series where some of them had the live mic puzzle, and some of them had the Messy Tessie puzzle. I believe in UK there's only the live mic back. They don't have that variation. They went with the reprint run that had the live mic back. So that variation doesn't exist in the UK. We've got Cyclops here. I do have a couple of printing errors here with the back is off a little bit, and here Cyclops the left side is like cut off a little bit. And let's see. So for Cyclops, there's a little variation there. One of them has the completed puzzle back, and this one up here has the puzzle piece back. And same thing with One-Eyed. Oh no, One-Eyed Jack does not have that variation. It doesn't look like. Let's see. There's Leaky Lindsay, and we've got another Leaky Lindsay. So that's actually asterisk variation there. We've got 1 star and 2 star, which is interesting. Rap and Ron and Ray Gun. So you've got a puzzle piece and a checklist variation there for that one. Disgustin' Justin, got the checklist. And then this Disgustin' Justin is the puzzle piece back version. Vile Kyle. We've got this guy, Tongue-Tied Tim, who has a puzzle piece back. And then the other one is a permit to eat between meals back. Double Heather. Oh, and then, yeah, so this was also the print run where they had changed the name. You'll remember this character was in the original run for American cards was called Schizofran. And in the second run, they just called her Fran, and that's the run that the UK went with. So there's only the Fran version of this card in the UK series. You'll see I do have the asterisk variation for that one. Then we've got Mad Donna, Nutty Nicole. Again, I've got the asterisk variation there. Russell Muscle and Brett Sweat. Again, oh no. Okay, so this one is not an asterisk variation. The 2 Russell Muscles I have here are 2 different backs. So that's an interesting variation. And then we've got this pig guy, Dirty Harry. Got a couple of him. He has 2 different backs as well. We've got a pretty beat up. It seems kind of appropriate that Rob Slob would have these awful staining on it, but there you go. Jolted Joel and Live Mike. That's another back variation there. We've got a Sneak and Rudeness for that guy. Fryin' Ryan and Charred Chad. Another back variation there. Harry Gary and Brutal Brad. And then Harry Carey and Brutal Bridget. I got Tommy Gunn and Dead Fred, always a favorite of mine. We're not as many variations here in this set. Prickly Rick. Oh, we do have a couple of Prickly Ricks though. And that seems to be... I'm not sure why I have more than one Prickly Rick. They look pretty much the same to me. Maybe I just kept them for the heck of it, just because I had an extra one. And we've got Cactus Carol. They again look the same to me. Not really quite sure why I kept those 2. Maybe because of this printing error where the top is getting cut off. Jolly Roger and Pegleg Peter, Greaser Greg and Chris Hiss. Got a couple of Chris Hisses. Let's see what we have there. We've got a Best Actor award there with 1 star, and this is a Best Actor award with 2 stars on the bottom. And we've got Spacey Stacy and Janet Planet, Hot Scott and Lukewarm, Shrunken Ed and Shrunken Ed. We've got 2 Shrunken Eds with a Short Memory award with 1 star and a Short Memory award with 2 stars. The old rat guy, Matt Rat, Smashed in the Trap, Rachel Rodent, Phony Lisa, Mona Loser. Classic stuff. Mad Max, Brainy Brian, Gorgeous George and Dollar Bill, Mark Bark and Kennel Kenny. And you can see all the Live Mic puzzle piece backs here. Off the Wall Paul, Zach Plack. No messy tessy puzzle pieces for the UK series. And all our old friends are here. And we get to Tattoo Lou and Art Gallery, Split Kit, and Mixed Up Mitch, Poor Slain Wayne, and Ventilated Vinny. And then we've got a couple of uglies. Let's see what that's about. It's asterisks again. We've got 1 and 2 star for that guy. And again, I have a package for this series. The all blue Atom Bomb 2nd series package. Again with the Made in Republic of Ireland note on the back. And now we can move on to the next series. Series 3. This is where things get a little bit weird. Let me look this up so I don't say the wrong thing. Make sure I get it right. So, yes. So for this one, they released a series that's got 64 cards from the US version of Series 3, but then they tacked on 18 cards from Series 4 of the US set. So that's interesting. Let's see if there's any other interesting information online I can find about this for you guys. There's some package variations for this one. There's some color variations in the logo and names. Nothing too exciting though. So yeah. There are 3 name changes, so I'll try to remember to mention those when we get to those. Oh, and then interestingly enough, they misspelled the name of one of the characters. Oh, of 2 of the characters in the checklist. Put an extra E in there for Pinned Lynn and Trashy Tracy. That's interesting. And then there's a OK variation without a number. And some other like color variations for a couple of logos and names and stuff. So anyway, let's take a look at these. So we've got Joe Blow, and you'll see I've got a gap here in my collection. It looks like probably looking for maybe a different back or a different let's see, Rod Wad. Yeah, there must be a different back, because you see for Rod Wad we have the running a clip joint back, but then there's also a Rod Wad with the one for brainwashing back. So I'm looking for, looks like I'm missing the brainwashing back for Joe Blow. But we've got Stuck Chuck and Pinned Lynn with a puzzle piece back, and then Pinned Lynn with a different puzzle piece back. Horsey Henry, Galloping Glen. We've got 2 Galloping Glens. One with that puzzle piece back, and one with a checklist back. And you'll see for the checklist, they've got, this is where the numbering starts to get weird for UK series. So you see they actually retained the original numbering of Series 3 and 4, so there are some numbers that are just missing. So it's like 107, 108, 109, 111, 112, and then there's 114 without a 113. And then we've got, let's see, there's some other weird stuff in here. There's a 138 and then a 140, and then we jump to 146 and then 159. So Yeah, the numbers jump around a lot here, and then things get even weirder as we get into the later series. But we'll get to that in another video. um, so yeah, we got Hothead Harvey, Roy Bott. So we got a Roy Bott variation here. We've got the completed puzzle piece of Mugged Marcus on one, and then we've got the puzzle piece, an actual puzzle piece there on the other back. Then we've got good old Dinosaur and Farrah Fossil, and we've got a Farrah Fossil variation. Let's see what that is. One puzzle piece and one completed puzzle. Hurt Kurt and Pat Splat. Oh, another Pat Splat. That must probably a puzzle piece variation there, yeah. That's a slightly different piece of the puzzle there. And we've got Stone Sean, Thick Vic, and we've got a couple of Thick Vics. Looks like different puzzle piece backs again. Now, here's a weird one. I've got a Blake Flake 91A, but there's no 91B. And oddly enough, that is the case. They printed a 91A in this series, and you'll see on the checklist here, 91A is there, but there's no 91B. So that's another weird thing they did, is sometimes they printed only the A or only the B. I have no idea why they did that. And this is, I think, one of the weird color variations here. We've got the green nameplate, which I don't think they ever printed a green nameplate in the American series, but for whatever reason they changed it to green in the UK here. We got two Bustin' Dustins with different puzzle piece backs there. And there's Bruce Lee, Karate Kate, Grim Jim. So we get two Karate Kates, again, different puzzle piece backs. Two Beth Deaths. I think, yeah, it's going to be the case again with the two different puzzle piece backs. Distorted Dot, Punchy Perry, Cream Keith. What's going on with Cream Keith? Oh, he's got a puzzle piece, and then the other one is a Wanted for Child Abuse, which is kind of unpleasant. Got some more of the Spider Guy, Liberty Libby. Now, oh no, that's I'm missing a variation there. It looks like I think there's a DDT variation I'm missing. We got Beaky Becky, a couple of Picky Mickeys with different backs. One wanted for creating health hazard. One wanted for aggravated assault. And there's another weird one where we've only got the 100A alligator, and there's no 100B. We just move right along to 103. Yeah, it's much harder to keep to keep these guys in the right order and with gaps in the right places if you're missing any, because now we've got 103A, and then we move right along to 104A. And that's not because I'm missing one there. That's because those are the only ones they printed. You can see that again on the checklist. The checklist becomes very important in the UK series, because it's not just a straight series of numbers. It actually jumps around. So you got 103A, 104A, 105A, and you can see in the B section, we just jump straight from 99 to 105. So it's weird stuff, very weird stuff. There's Silent Sandy. And this is one of our first name changes. Juicy Jessica became Juicy Lucy in this series. Which is interesting because there's another GPK who'll come up later who was originally named Juicy Lucy. So you end up with two with the same name. Not that didn't happen anyway in the US series sometimes, but yeah, so here's Totem Paula and Tatum Pole. And the Tatum Pole has these variations here. Smelly Sally, Fishy Phyllis. Got a couple of Fishy Phyllises, again with a back variation there. Toady Terry, Krogan Colin. And finally we get to Liberty Libby. Oh no, we don't. That's weird. I always have a blank space over top of her, so I always think we're looking at her, and no, we're looking through to her in the background. Now you see here is an interesting variation with Snooty Sam. Over here we've got his name written in black, and then on this card it's written in white. So that's another fun variation there, and you'll see there's no 110B. It's just 110A, and then we move on. There's Target Margaret, and Bullseye Barry. Got a couple of Bullseye Barrys. Again, that's a back variation. Mental Cruelty and Brainwashing. Frankenstein for 112A. And then we have a couple of Undead Jeds for 112B with the puzzle piece back variation. Now, we finally get to Liberty Libby. Now, here's an interesting thing. I think if you remember in the US, there were a number of different variations of this card, and the same is true again in the UK. We've got Liberty Libby with a black number on the front and a wanted for creating a public nuisance on the back. Then we've got Liberty Liberty with a white number on the front and that same back. And then again, there's black and white number variations of a different back. They're wanted for running a clip joint. So lots of variations for that card. But again, the weird thing here is that there's a 113B, but no 113A in the UK series. Then we move along to Starin', Darren, and Peep and Tom. We got another variation here, different puzzle piece backs. And I believe we have another name change coming up here. Yeah. So it was Well Done Sheldon in America, and in the UK it's just Well Done Don. I feel like Well Done Sheldon actually has like kind of a better ring to it, but maybe Sheldon is not a common name in the UK. I'm not sure. So let's flip that over. Yeah, we got puzzle piece back variations again with that one. Eerie Eric, and we got a couple of Berserk Kirks, different backs. Wanted for bribery, wanted for grand fraud. Rocky and Roll, Las Vegas. A couple of Las Vegases. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, one of them is a puzzle piece, and one of them is wanted for creating a help hazard. We've got Half Nelson, and we've got Glandular Angela. Got a couple of her. Different backs. Ted Head, Still Jill. A couple of Still Jills. Thanks to different backs there. Babbling Brook and Jelly Kelly. A couple of Jelly Kellys with different backs. Broad Maud. And Large Marge. Different puzzle piece backs for Large Marge. Sticky Ricky. Now here I've got two Sticky Rickies, 123B, but no 123A. Again, one of those weird places where they decided to skip one for no particular reason. And here we skipped another one. We got King Size Kevin, but no, none of his A counterpart is not here. We do have another different backed version of King Size Kevin. Then we've got OK. So OK, neither of these have the number on them. I'm not sure there even is a version of OK with the number printed on it. It was just some kind of weird mistake that happened there. We've got different backs there. We've got a couple of, and again, we only have OK. We don't have his counterpart. And then we've got Trash Tracy. By the way, let's see. So what number is OK? It should be on the checklist. Let's take a look. Flip back here. So OK is number 125B. And there is no 125A in this series. It's weird stuff. So yeah, and then we move right along to 129B, Trash Tracy. They picked and chose, I guess, their favorite ones from the various series. I don't know if there were some that were like a little bit too weird or gross for the UK, or if they just, some were more popular and they wanted to use those. I'm not sure. We've got 130A here, Nicky Hickey, and we've got two 130As and no 130B. Again, there's two different backs there for that guy. And again, 131A, he's alone. Stuff Steven, two different backs. Boney Tony, 132A, there's no 132B. So yeah, it is tricky putting together a collection of the UK cards, because you'll be like, oh, it looks like I still need 132B, but that card doesn't even exist. So you have to do your research to figure out what cards you actually need for these. So here's Deadly Dudley, 137B. Again, no 137A. And then we've got 138A, but no 138B. And there's two different backs there. And that's my son in the background singing. We've got couple of mouth fills and one toothless. For mouth fill, we've got different backs again, of course. Wanted for blocking traffic or mental cruelty. And then we've got two baked Jakes. And that's another card where there's only that guy, 146A, no 146B. And the back difference there is these two different wanted poster backs. And we've got just one Tiffany lamp, 148B, no 148A. And then we've got good old incomplete Pete, 149B. He's all alone. Which is interesting because, remember, in the US there were 3 different names for this card. There was Reese Pieces, Incomplete Pete, and then I actually can't remember the third name. But yeah. Oh, and then some of those name... Let me see if I can find those places. Yeah, Pinned Lynn. They spelled the name wrong on the checklist. They put an E on the end. It wasn't supposed to be there. And then there's another one where they put an E in that wasn't supposed to be there. I don't know. So anyway, we've got 153B, but no 153A. And then we've got 159A. Now I've got a gap here. Let's see what that might be. Was there a 159B? No. There was... Let's see, 159A. The next card should be 161A, which is right here. So that must be just a variation that I'm missing. So we've got 2 Shorn Shawns with different wanted backs. Trish Squish, a couple of Trish Squishes. Different back variations again. Different wanted posters. And then this is another one. Yeah, you know, this series was... Well, this is actually Series 4 US cards now. It was kind of interesting because there were a number of cards that had 3 different names. And in the UK, they only have one name because they only printed the A card, and not any other version of the card. So this is just Teddy Bear. And this is just Gord Gordon as 166A, which is the final card in this series. There's no 166B. And I have a couple variations on him with different backs there. And again, we have the package, an example of the packaging for this series, which is fun. With the printed in Republic of Ireland note there. So that's it for the first 3 series of UK. I'll go over series 4 through 6 in another video. Meanwhile, tacked on the end in this binder, I might as well go through these too. A little while ago, pretty recently actually, Universal Studios and Topps Garbage Pail Kids did a kind of crossover series here. And I believe they were printed by, Super7, which is a pretty cool company, an online company that make like action figures and occasionally trading cards. And these cards are actually printed on basically cardboard. It's not really awesome cardstock. It's just kind of like cheap cardboard. And there's, as is typical with Garbage Pail Kids, there's A's and B's, but these are all based on Universal horror monsters. So the A card is a color card with kind of a goofy Garbage Pail type name, and the B card is a black and white card with the actual original name of the monster. So it's kind of cool. I love horror movies. I love monster movies. And I particularly love the old original Universal monster movies. So this was a really, really cool series for me to collect. And I tried to collect a couple different printings of them. They actually did the 1 and 2 star variations on the back. You'll see. This one actually doesn't have a star at all, and this one has 2 stars. So I tried to collect all the different variations. I don't think I was successful in getting all of them, but I got a pretty good number, and you'll see the checklist here on the back. And you see they didn't do a really full color back here. This is just like the cardboard with like maybe 2 colors on it. But yeah, and this checklist only lists the Garbage Pail Kid names, not the and not in order either, which is kind of weird. They're not listed in numerical order. They just put all the names in some random order. And so this is some of the other guys. Here's the Mummy, but he's Mum Ian, Lunilani, the Wolfman. And we've got Invisible, who's the Invisible Man. Freaky Frank, it's obviously Frankenstein. There's the, oh, it's actually son of Frankenstein, excuse me. Then we have Gillman, and that one is Revenge of the Creature. So it's interesting. Sometimes they actually have a specific movie sequel name they use there. So this is the Mole Man, Mole Manny, Mole People, and I have the 1 star and 2 star. So I guess it's not 1 star and 2 star. It's no star and 2 star are the different variations there. And you'll see they did a puzzle piece, a puzzle back, just like in the original cards. And then you have this fun ad on the back of this one, basically an ad for the series. So that's pretty cool. And then we've got the Hunchback, Hunchback Mac, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. The art on these is pretty fun. I mean, some of these are really great. Like this one of Frankenstein is just fantastic. Like the details and the colors on this are really, really cool. Bolt Buds Boris. It's obviously Frankenstein. And I like the decision to have a one color and one black and white, so there's actually like a real difference between the A and B. That's pretty cool. And again, look at all the colors on this one. They're really cool. Dracula. And some more, you can see some more of the backs here. And you'll see this one. This is the other checklist that actually lists the Universal Monster movie names of the characters. Again, without the numbers, but it does list the other versions of the cards there. And we've got another Dracula. Bridey Heidi, the Bride of Frankenstein. That's really cool. And then we've got Ardeth Bay, who's the name of the mummy in his more human-looking form from the original movie, if you'll remember, which is a fantastic movie. That's probably one of my favorite of the classic Universal horror movies, is the original Mummy. And here's the creature again. This time it's the original creature from the Black Lagoon and not Revenge of the Creature. I kind of wish they'd done more like completely different monsters rather than just like doing like sequel monsters, but still, this is a really fun little set. There's not a lot of cards. You'll see we've just been through them all, so that's all the cards. There's just 12 cards with A's and B's, so 24 altogether. And then like I said, I have some of the asterisk variations from the different printings. Yeah, and in that case, I believe originally those asterisks meant like different sides of the print sheet, but I believe in this particular run, those asterisks actually meant the reprint run versus the original print run. So, and I do have a couple of variations in packaging here. We've got the pink version of the package, and then this green version. You'll see it's Garbage Pail Kids crossed with the Universal Monsters, printed by Super7 and Topps. So yeah, there you go. Very fun little series that came out in, let's see, what year does it have on here? I actually don't see the year on here, which is weird. But it was pretty recently. Oh, there it is. 2019. Yeah, it was very recently. So there you go. That's another binder full of Garbage Pail Kids. We're actually really near the end now of my collection. I might give you a tour of my wacky packages too. I'm not sure. We'll see if I'm up for it. I don't have a lot of wacky packages. I kind of got started collecting them and then kind of fell off. But I do have some that might be fun to look through. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.